Hello everyone, my name is DeathTech and welcome back to Evochron Legend. Or at least the game's legendary. No, I'm kidding. It's Evochron Legacy here again, and it is just a beautiful game. I love it so much. Today we are doing the inventory tutorial. Now, do you need an inventory tutorial, really? Not really, but I'm doing the screen, so there's kind of a lot going on here, and a lot of little side things to talk about. So, let's get started here. In the middle, you can see the ship's configuration as it is now, which is basically the wireframe version of the ship in the shipyard. If you've seen my previous video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I showed that into the details. Right, we have loaded items, which funnily enough only shows your fuel and credits. I don't know how that's loaded items, but okay. I think it technically was supposed to it talks about this entire side is loaded items, but still, it's kind of weird. It only kind of like encapsulates the fuel and money, but okay. Underneath that, we have our equipment. If you've seen the previous video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is your equipment stuff that I showed you in the frame config. You have cargo base. I don't have any cargo base because I stripped them out because I don't need them. So I don't have any cargo base, but you would be able to see cargo base here if you wanted to, and you have a handy jettison button, which works both in station and in space, I think at least. Yeah, it works in station as well. Which you basically click on something and then you click jettison. I'm not gonna click that because I sold my gun. Yep, that's how you sell guns. That is brilliant, DT. Okay, so that's how you sell guns. There you go. Now you know. You just double click on something to sell it. Right. So we have my cannons here, which I sold like an idiot. Perfect. We have my secondary weapon. So now I'm fully unarmed because I don't have any missiles. That's great. We're fully unarmed now, and that's perfect. So here you'd see your missiles and other secondary stuff like what's it called? Stealth field generators, stuff like that. Power packs, fuel packs, stuff over there. Right, in the middle here we have our available contracts, which are different contracts you can take to make some extra money and a name for yourself. It also slightly changes territory control, if I remember correctly, but that might have changed to combat only. I'm not sure what the difference is in this game in comparison to Elite. Elite? What the? No, not Elite. Oh, this game is much better than Elite. I know, but still. No, I meant to say Mercenary. Sorry. We have the items for sale, which is basically buying stuff off of the game station. Now what we have here is 3 different categories of commodities, which I have not talked about before. We have the commodities which are purple, which are just trade commodities, though I will say they are useful for the engineering lab. Keep that in mind. There is the equipment, which is all of these yellow ones are equipment, and it all fits into the equipment slots, which are handy things like shield batteries, repair systems, cannon relays, stuff like that. A tractor beam, that kind of stuff. And then we have the weapons, which are all green colored. If it's a green color, you know it's a weapon. It's either a secondary or primary weapon. Either way, it's green. It'll be in here. And as you can see now at the top, it will show you the description to the left. At the top, it will show you what class or what the name is of the item. And it will say Y, S, and R. What does that mean? Like, people look at it and go, what does that mean? What does that mean? Okay, so what does it mean? Yield. I think the S stands for shield, and the R stands for range. Now, yield means how much damage it does, I guess, on a hull. The S again, shield. Actually, you know what? I'm not too 100% on the S, so I'm going to look this up right quick just to be sure I'm not giving you guys some, like, drenchy BS. Okay. Okie dokie. We're going to just skip through here. Oh, okay. Just skip this part back. All right, so what we see here is some stuff for the weapon that we're looking at the current state. We have a little description at the top left. I can't really move over to it because then it will move the stuff away again. We have at the top the name of the item, which is in this case a class 5 missile called the Exodus missile, but it doesn't say the name, it just says class 5 missile. And then we have Y, S, and R. Now, what the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? What does it mean? Most people have a brain hemorrhage when they see this, and they literally have no idea what it means. So let's go into this just right quick. The Y stands for yield, and in this case, for example, with a missile, it means how much damage it'll do, or, well, yeah, class of explosion. The S stands for the speed, how quickly it goes. Like, for example, this missile has a speed of 700, which means it could catch up with my ship in IDS-1, because that one only goes 575 or something. And the R, which is range, which is how far the missile would go before it basically self-destructs because it ran out of range. Alright, and then, of course, we also have something else here. We have the Y for yield. This is a cannon. The R for range. And the C. And I believe the C stands for cycle rate, which, oh, okay, I didn't mean to do that either. The C stands for cycle rate, which means basically how fast it will fire again and again and again and again. So we're going to sell this again, because I didn't want that to begin with. And now it's vanished, never to be seen again, because the game ate the item. Like a crazy bastard. Alright, we're not looking at an item down here. We have docking options and additional options over here. So let's go from bottom to top, because I like doing it in the Chinese way, all the way backwards. We have the flight event log. Now this will show all of the things that we have done recently, which is buying, selling, and it also goes into data we might have acquired, such as, and also events and contracts we've completed. It's very handy if you kind of want to look up what your trade contract gave you, how much you were paid out, stuff like that. News and information. Oh God. News and information. Okay. News and information, it kind of displays information about your current sector, the area you're in, blah-de-blah-de. You got the local build details, which basically details the amount of ship modules there are. The station command module, which basically means, is there a station here, yay or nay? How many city docking modules are in the sector? Right, in this sector, this is Pearl. There are 3 on the nearby planet. And here's a little listing of all of the different modules that are placed in the current sector. The technology status, which tells us the technology level, and the economy control, which is Alliance, because this is the main Alliance capital. We've got the affiliation, which again, it's Alliance affiliated, and the local market conditions, which shows you the price and markup. If it's 153, for example, you're buying it pricier, but you're selling it for a good price. If it's 91, for example, you can buy it for cheaper than the regular price, and you can sell it in other places for a better price as long as they're higher than that number. So the percentages kind of give you an indicative idea of whether it's a good price or a shite price. Also, a little thing here it tells you how much fuel costs in this sector, which is a very interesting thing because in some sectors you can pay 141 credits per unit of fuel, which is very costly in comparative to this 50 in Pearl. You also have your little statistics for your pilot, which is your name, which you should know by yourself. The money you have, what rating you have in terms of, I think it's trading rating over here. And then we also have the rank, which is military rank, which is trainee. You have how many paid contracts have been completed, how high your military rank is in a number value. You have your kills, how many people are in your fleet. There's a fleet thingy. And you also have the quest menu. Not many people even know this exists, but these are quests. Like proper full-on quests. Whilst most people think that the contracts are the same as the quests, which is not true. You have quests here. They have stages even, and you can activate them out here, which is handy. You can also quickly view the hangar details, which doesn't work for me. I think this window is broken in the current version. They have the system information, which tells you more about the local system, such as the nearest planet, whether it has water, plants, rain, rings, clouds, if it has an atmosphere, does it have a defensive ring? Now that shit's real cool. And what type of terrain it is, as well as the location, and other stuff like economy classes, like this area. That's biological, technology, energy, and agricultural. Any alerts ongoing will also appear here. Alerts are really good opportunities to make money, so keep an eye on that. And more information up here about the local system, what's going on. You can see there's one combat carrier. Local ship specs are quite high because this is, again, the capital of the Alliance. The asteroid quantity, there's lots of asteroids. Nebula quantity, there's a couple of nebulas. I don't know why it says high, there's only 2 of them. And gas planets, normal planets, and the star. Right. So, the other button is just simply to close it. So now that we're past that, we also have crew management. Now there is no crew members here at the moment. I don't have any crew members, but this is where you can hire crew members for your ship. Do bear in mind, if you've looked at my shipyard tutorial, you have to create space for crew to be on your ship before you can actually have crew. Now, as your reputation increases, you'll find more crew you can hire. But since this is a new character and I don't really plan this character, I have no available crew. Now, you can also buy a license here. Now, what does a license do? People don't comprehend what a license does, and I will tell you exactly what a license does. A license gives you a discount on trade items, just the trade items, not on these equipment items, not on these weapons, only on the purple trade items. It will give you a discount, but you can also only sell stuff to the station for cheaper. So the discount is both buying and selling. So if you're trying to sell stuff to the station, you will lose out money. So do not buy a license on a station that you're intending to sell to, because you won't get as much money as before. So it's handy for a station you want to buy in, but not for a station you want to sell in. As well, interestingly enough, it doesn't give you free hangar space, but if you go in the hangar here for a second, you can see here there's a transaction fee. If you have a license, the transaction fee is basically halved, so you can store stuff cheaper, which is in many ways, more than one, very handy. You can refuel your ship, which is important. And it also, I have to say, it also reloads your countermeasures. If you don't refuel, you're not getting new countermeasures. So please remember to refuel your ship, even if you press 0 and then fill the fuel tank. So that would have been kind of a silly thing, because filling the fuel tank, you know, it does the whole fuel tank. But I think you can do 0 and then press enter. That is a dot. That's not as... Yeah, you can do 0 and press enter. So that's fine. I also want to point out, for those who are not aware, you can do something like this, and you can sell your fuel back at a price, and then you get money back. Just in case you buy too much fuel or you didn't want to buy fuel, you can sell it back for the same price, for the exact same price, doing a negative number instead. And the last button, launch the ship or enter the station, which is one of my favorite buttons of all time. Alright, that'll be all for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe if you feel like it, and let me know if this tutorial helped you in any way. I hope you learned something from it, and let me know if I forgot anything or if I've said something that is not true. You can always let me know in the comment section below, and have a good one.